or Tanak actually save here eEriness from getting wiped from the board 3-0?
Well, we're about to find out.
We're about to find out. Oh, we got here some easy mode thing.
Nice.
This time I can flame myself for.
Wow, you screwed up.
Yeah,
That's my part, dude.
I screwed up once.
You can't just change messing up media files. It's totally my thing.
Oh, this time I messed up media files, but this
It's fine.
Now you actually see it's live. If no one believed us that this is live, finally we know it's live. And finally those picking screens are almost they're working. This is freaking perfect. And we have TanakhT as a rogue and Zadkiel as a shaman. This is surprising what is happening. Not hunter versus hunter.
It's rogue versus shaman. We haven't seen either of those.
We actually haven't seen a shaman. I don't know if you have seen a shaman in week 1 at all.
ECOP?
Once? Are you sure?
What? ECOP played couple times.
Well, then my brain is just dysfunctional.
That's fine.
That's fine. That happens.
We already talked about you being special, Mats.
I can deal with it, I guess. So, what is Zadkiel doing here? He's thinking about keeping Flame Tongue Totem and Fur Spirits. I guess he really wants to do some early game ownage damage here. And he keeps those wolves. Gets 2 hexes. You didn't see it, but you will see it in a second.
2 hexes is not what you want to start with.
Well, against a rogue, maybe a Miracle Rogue, you are happy about your hexes somewhere because you can just go, yeah, Auctioneer hex, Van Cleef hex, I don't care hex.
Whatever you're throwing me, hex.
Yeah, whatever, hex, just, it will work, no problem Reno here. Oh, he gets out a totem, and it's good that he doesn't coin out something, because if he coins out something and your enemy plays a sap, you're going to be like, oh god, what did I coin? It hurts so much. And I'm actually surprised here.
He doesn't play his wolves. He decides to go for Totem and Argent Squire.
I'm surprised he didn't pull out his Unbound Elemental.
Or the Elemental, yeah. And then follow up with the wolves next turn.
That would have been like the move I expected here. And, oh, TanakhT just kills his Divine Shield. That happens.
Well, it doesn't know that Defender of Argus is about to drop.
That's a really nice play with the Defender of Argus, because you get 2 Taunters out and 2 annoying Taunters. I mean, 1-3 and 2-2. That's pretty strong for Taunters. And if TanakhT goes Auctioneer, Backstab, his Auctioneer would die next turn, since we know there are 2 hexes, and they are useful now.
They are definitely useful, and he also has a Earth Shock to just get rid of the passive, just in case.
Just in case. If he doesn't want to hex here, he could absolutely just Earth Shock. And it's always tricky to play as a Miracle Rogue now. If you sap, you won't have a sap for another Defender of Argus, because as we know, those anti-aggro counter-rush shamans, they often run 2 of those Arguses. And he gets a weapon, doesn't do anything. I would maybe attack here once and then twice.
You know, he could just drop his totem.
But he has to drop his totem then, and not a 5-drop like his Azure now.
True.
That would be like mind games somewhere, but it feels like TanakhT has a really bad draw here. I guess he will backstab to draw cards, and he's really hoping for a conceal preparation, something like that.
Think that he's gonna... Yeah, he's definitely gonna use Deadly Poison. Try to get in conceal. Oh.
This is exactly what you want to see. Now he can prep, draw another card, get an Eviscerate, like top deck Eviscerate, or even Blade Flurry. This is annoying too.
He could... Would you rather go for, like, take 4 damage and then use Blade Flurry?
No, you absolutely want to keep that Blade Flurry for next turn, when he maybe plays those wolves. And if he goes Spirit Wolves, you can just kill him with 1 card. he deals 3 damage now, and well, it's not surprising if Zadkiel actually goes for the wolves here. Well, and you burn 1 hand card since he has more than 10 cards. And he goes for Hex, but Hex plus wolves or just Hex? That's a big question.
He could go Hex Unmount Elemental before he plays the wolves.
But he goes extremely safe. I'm kind of surprised he goes so safe. But it's okay. I mean, you see your enemy having a weapon with poison, and you could just really expect the Blade Flurry here. And, well, it's not surprising it actually comes. And next turn, he will just follow up with his Spirit Wolves and be extremely happy about his play.
Yep. Now you just see him equipping a weapon.
More weapons!
That's about it.
Weapons OP, I heard. There's a new weapon upcoming with next Ramas. It's going to be super amazing. Warrior's going to be even more OP. Spoiler alert. If you haven't read it, guys, spoiler alert. I'm sorry. And he's going to play those wolves, and he even has enough mana to Earth Shock. And this is extremely important to Earth Shock.
That hurts.
Since you know there's double Cold Blood roaming around. I mean, he won't play double Cold Blood on that Argent Squire. But just the possibility of Cold Blood on that Argent Squire is annoying.
Yeah, wouldn't make it 11 damage.
Now he can draw 1 card, get that wolf down, and he could also Fan of Knives if he wants to, or just go Eviscerate on the middle wolf. But he could definitely kill both wolves if he wants to.
Looks like that's exactly what he's going to do.
I should go bet, or I don't know, horse on the horse, like bet on horses, bet on dogs, bet on mice.
Bet on horse.
I don't know. Like, that sounds good.
To bet on horse?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I know.
I'm just ignoring the troll. I hope that. I hope.
I'm not trolling. It's just.
I hope that's coming through.
It's just my horrible pronunciation.
I'm just immune to stuff. And there's the second hex now. So hex value.
Truly has value because, as a rogue, you're kind of dependent on your card draw. But we see Leroy double Cold Blood. That's a lot of damage.
Well, we can actually tell how much damage it is. It's 14. Leroy double Cold Blood 14 plus Shadow Step plus Leroy. That's 20 damage possible here only from that frigging Leroy in his hand. We need taunters on Zadkiel's side if we hype him now. And, well, I guess he knows. He could just Hex here, Totem up, and play Argent Squire. And next turn go for Flame Tongue Totem, for example. That's absolutely possible. Or he just plays Flame Tongue Totem and goes for, well, just trades, for example. But absolutely play your Argent Squire, sir. I would have placed it on the other side.
On the other side?
Yeah, you don't want your middle minion to die, but you want, for example, run your Flame Tongue. Place your Flame Tongue between the 1/1 totem and the Unbound, and then sacrifice your stuff, for example. Oh. 20. Now he's on 20. We need taunters. Without taunters, he's dead. That's so annoying. You think always, yeah, I'm safe. I got 20 HP. He's not gonna kill me.
What is he gonna do? Oh no! He doesn't play the wolves.
He can still coin wolves, and I guess he will.
Yep.
He needs to know.
Well, that was good.
And he's just beefcake if he doesn't.
Beefcake?
And this is extremely good. There's 12 damage on the board now, and nothing Tanakh can do here. He can draw Bank Leaf. Oh, nothing is a bit hard to say, but it's super annoying what Zadkiel put on the board now. He just needs his wolves to survive.
Well played. Can you actually go for it? Yeah.
He can definitely go for it with Argent Commander. Argent Commander goes on 6 with a Flame Tongue, and with a Rockbiter weapon goes on 9. GG
Boom.
here, and pretty close, pretty awesome top deck
that
of
was
those
really,
Spirit
really
Wolves.
close.
Nice game, and whoa, is that a 5-0 overall for Plenty? A surprise for him. And TanakhT lost his rogue here, but we see Hunter is possible or Warrior is even possible. So 2 of those choices I put in the room are possible. And we're just jumping right into the game, and let's see what actually is TanakhT playing. And it's the Warrior. Good choice here.
Control Warrior, as always. We haven't seen a Rush Warrior at all.
A Rush Warrior would be really ballsy because you need to win 2 games with it. And those decks, they work once. And then your enemy knows, okay, that's a Rush Warrior. I'm just going to play the most anti-aggro deck I can put out. And then you're screwed. But it's still a nice deck to play.
Oh. And TanakhT chose to keep both his shield stems.
Well, he wants to armor up turn 2, armor up turn 3, and instant kill an Unbound Elemental. That's the thought process behind keeping shield slams. So you really don't want an Unbound Elemental to be out 1 turn. And actually you really want to have a Fiery Wind-Axe early on so you can kill his wolves. The good thing here for... Well, the annoying thing is there's a 1/1 totem. That's super annoying since we know there's a Rockbiter weapon in Zadkiel's hand. But you really want to get armor, and you really not want your enemy to get that annoying 1/1 totem.
Yeah, but let's see what he's going to do. He's just using the Rockbiter to get rid of the Armorsmith.
You kind of need to do that, or the Armorsmith will just kill your totems. He needs 2 turns, but he will just kill your totems over and over and over. And that's just super annoying.
It is, indeed. So yeah, Control Warriors always like try to drag the game into the late game. So what can Zadkiel do to fasten the game up?
It's not really that he needs to fasten the game up. What he absolutely needs to do is just drop totems, 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 totems. I mean, Control Warrior has a Brawl, but only once. He has a Gaddon, but only once. And if you just swarm the board with a lot of minions, a lot of stuff, your enemy will be like, the fuck? What can I do now? And that's exactly what you want to have. That moment where you just have an obese amount of minions on the board, and your enemy has to waste a lot of stuff to actually deal with the means you are putting down. And as a shaman, that's just totems, totems, passive, passive, every turn passive, more minions. Just make him waste his whirlwinds early on. No more triggers for his executes. Get his shield stamps down on your fire elementals or your Azure Drakes, and then finish off with Alakir, Rockbiters, Alakir, whatever. That's your secret plan. Not so secret.
It's not that secret.
But it's still a plan.
And we see he played the Defender of Argus and buffed his Argent Squires. Came handy because, yeah, the Acolyte of Pain only had 2 life left.
And we see from TanakhT, this is the more anti-aggro version, since there's a cleave in, and wow, he goes super lucky with that cleave.
Takes out both Argent Squires. That's good.
That turned out really well for him, and I like to see that cleave. That's super amazing.
Yep, that value. And we see Azure Drake draws a card, finishes turn.
Yeah, now there's Cairn again, but we see an Hex, and whoa, we talked about Cairn. You can play him, but then he will just get hexed. Big question here is, and the one big question for me here is there a Harrison Jones or an Ooze in Zadkiel's deck actually? Because Gorehowl is so strong and so annoying. If it gets down, he will just kill minion, 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 minion. At least 5 minions with Gorehowl. In a Shaman, even 6. And then, yeah, what are you going to do? You can play totems, he kills totems. He can just kill totems, he can kill every big drop you do. And you really want to have, Harrison. Now you play your Unbound. He's just going to go Gorehowl.
Yeah, kill the Unbound immediately.
That hurts. That's not cool. That's just, let's put it under the not cool tab and be sad for the rest of the game, because you just see that weapon out.
Yeah.
He can play in Defender of Argus. That means you can actually attack and won't die instantly, since we know Zadkiel has no trigger. Tanak has no trigger here. So that's good if he wants to play it, but he doesn't want to.
Nope.
And there was a trigger I was talking about.
There comes the Karen.
There comes the Karen.
And is he actually? Nah, he doesn't want to use his Gohal for obvious reasons.
He still has a Brawl in his hand, so he really doesn't need to use the Gorehowl.
And Iceras there as well. He Oh no, he doesn't draw it. He wants to keep his Hex, of course, because he knows there might be Alexstrasza incoming. There might be Ragnaros or Geddon.
The funny thing we see here now is a big game hunter on Fire Elemental, and that's the one move you want to do as a warrior, because you know there's not gonna be a Geddon, Ragnaros. Most likely no Ragnaros from the Shaman, and you really want to take your chances here of just big game huntering the Fire Elemental, and your enemy is he's gonna be super pissed about that move. And now the totem lies free, you can just kill it. I wouldn't recommend wasting a slam.
Nah. Me neither. I think he should just end his turn.
Absolutely. It's his only trigger that's left for execute. Well, he still has but the only trigger in his hand at the moment that's left for an execute. So if your enemy plays something big and annoying, you won't be able to kill it if you use your slam now. If there's an Izera coming and you slam before, you need to attack that minion with your weapon. That hurts.
Definitely does. And we see him. Is he going to slam the shield off? Yep.
I would just Brawl here. Easy mode Brawl.
Really? Already? Because you know that the Shaman is, has a low card count?
It wouldn't hurt yourself brawling here, since you have all those executes in your hand and you still have a Gorehowl flying around. So I would say yes, Brawl okay. And I would definitely play Acolyte of Pain. I don't see any reason to not.
Well, he wanted the 2 armor. He couldn't have played the Acolyte and still gotten the armor, and he wants to armor up every single turn because that increases the game length, and by doing that he increases his chances because he knows that in the late game the control warrior is extremely strong.
But he didn't it wouldn't hurt him. Against the Shaman, you don't need to go that strong full armor mode. I know what you're saying there, but I just disagree with his play. I know why he does it. I just disagree with the play. It wouldn't hurt him. Even if his Acolyte of Pain dies instantly, he would still get 1 or 2 cards out of it. Well, now he gets 2 cards out of it too. Just saying, I would have played him absolutely last turn. Feral Spirit's incoming! Woo woo!
Wow, wow, wow. Feral Spirit hype!
And he can just kill 1 Feral Spirit, 2 Feral Spirit, if he wants to.
He could... Would you expect him to do that?
I was thinking about...
I think Brawl is the best option here.
Oh, now absolutely possible. And the good thing is he played 2 wolves, gets an overload, and no value in the end out of it.
Yeah.
The weapon still does 2 damage, so it's 1 dead totem. And then he just drops the Fury Winax, and that's another 2 dead or 2 dead wolves, 2 dead totems, whatever he wants to kill. There's still Geddon in his hand. There's still Taskmaster in his hand for an execute. Pretty good things here.
But the problem is, as you can already see, Zadkiel is running out of cards on his Shaman.
And that's annoying. But there are only awesome cards left in his deck. I mean, there's Alakia left with a lot of burst. There's maybe a Ragnaros left. There should be a big game hunter overall. And we hope he's going to draw him now. There's Alakia. We were talking about him. Good minion to finish the game. Annoying thing here is now, well, he needs to hex. He absolutely needs to hex Alexstrasza. And you do not want to hex that minion that does actually nothing than just pulling you down to 15. And that's it. You don't need Alex to do more. You just need to make, she needs to do her magic.
3 damage.
Oh, it was 3 damage. Exactly. That wasn't even a lot damage. She did 3 damage. And then, well, she's an 8 minion, but you want to big game hunter her or something. You wanna hex an Izera. Something like that.
Because, as we all know, you cannot be counter eZera.
But it looks extremely good for Tanak here. The viewers might think we're casting for Zadkiel here, but that just looks like it because he's the underdog in this matchup. He's clearly losing here, and we need to cheer him up so he doesn't get sad.
Well, I think the match is already over. It was played last week. But we're still, in our hearts, we're playing it right now.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter if it's recorded or live. Well, we are live. The match is recorded. But we still hype it as much as possible. There's a Azure Drake coming and an Unbound Elemental. And he needs to hex now. And he knows, if I hex here, the next big minion, I cannot kill.
Well, it's at least way, way harder to kill. I mean, he still has the Earthshock for eZera, so he got that going for him, which is nice.
That's correct. Earthshock for eZera. The main problem with eZera is she's still a 412 minion. So if you Earthshock her, she's just going to be like, yeah, but you know I'm 412. I can kill around 3 minions and then just die. And he gets in Dream.
Nice. So even if he Earthshocks, he doesn't care. He just dreams himself and then plays her again.
But I wouldn't do that. I would hurt because it's 2 turns. You exclamation mark waste 9 mana and you cannot.
Well, it's not a waste. I mean, he can still like use her before he dreams her up.
That's correct.
I mean, he can still deal this 4 damage or trade with a minion.
It feels like it just feels so slow if you use her for her attack.
Yeah, but you're at 30 HP and 6 armor. Like, why bother? And you want to have like eZera's, what was it called again? Nightmare? No, Awakening. Awakening, of course. And then you can clear the entire board. And if you do that now, it's over, no matter what.
He could also, well, I guess he won't now. He won't dream her.
Of course
since he wants to, for example, play his weapon, kill a wolf, whirlwind, double execute. Just drop everything he can because he can. Easy mode. He goes for the card draw first, gets in Grimash, and this is super good for him. He just goes Fury Winax, kills 1 wolf. I would actually go for whirlwind, double execute, for example. Like execute the 2 left ones, just kill the Drake, and left would be 1 totem.
Yeah, Armor Smith needs to be played first, of course, because he wants to get the most value.
Now,
what? No,
I would have executed him. I know he can just stream, but I would have gone really safe mode. There are two times. Well, it's still an Argus upcoming, so questionable. But without any minions on the board, he cannot Argus anything. So I would still go with my idea here of...
he loses eZera. But he gets 3 armor, which is nice.
Well, why does he lose eZera now?
Because of Fire Elemental.
Is he going to ping and run everything in?
I guess.
Is that your secret move?
Well, it's not a secret anymore, is it?
Well, if he does it, it's not secret. He could also play Alakir, but that's just... You get him out.
Well, you wanna have the burst.
Yeah,
sort of.
Absolutely. I mean, he's on 38 HP. Even with the burst, you're like, 12 damage. Not hype. If your enemy has 38 damage. This is what I said before. Control Warrior definitely has a slight advantage over Shaman if you draw the right stuff. And we saw the Brawl. Brawl perfect. Just killed all the wolves. We saw Gorehowl being perfect. And we saw Gaddon doing his magic. If Zadkiel had a Ooze or Harrison, we don't know if he even had that in his decks. I think in the recap news, so if you want to know it, since he's still thinking, it takes some time, we're going to do a recap news end of the first play week about play week 1, tell you some highlights, post decks players played. So there on TakeTV.net and on Facebook, there will be like week 1 recap news for every one of you, that you get all the news you need.
Yeah, and it's really great for the viewers if you see, okay, what did Alish play, for example, when he stomped with Team Isuba? then you can just check his deck list and try those at home and see, okay, this is actually not that easy to play, because everyone, like a lot of people, especially when I started to watch Hearthstone, was just sitting at home and say, well, I could do that. But then when you actually have the cards and have the decks, it's way harder to pull off.
And now we see GG, I would say. If he attacks with his Izera into, you know his name?
Alakir?
Tell me. Alakir. Then plays Gamash, Whirlwind Execute. He has exactly 13 damage to end the game. Like, just pops the shield.
What? Yeah, true. Yeah.
He could do that. He could just play Ragnaros and be like, let's see if he hits. I mean, he can absolutely lethal this game if he wants to.
Why?
That's correct. It doesn't matter if he whirlwinds now
or later. True.
He can whirlwind attack,
or he wanted to enrage his Grommash first, I guess.
Oh, that's not the move how you win this turn. It doesn't matter in the end. He wins.
It's more disrespect.
He wins the game. Maybe he didn't see it. That's what I said. You can miss lethal. That's not bad. That's just unlucky for you because you take.
Yeah.
No, it's not bad. It happens. So simple thing. Card games. It happens. I would never.
Would you say as a professional player you should see it?
No, even not as a professional player. You can still miss those things in action. You can also miss that Houndmaster is not a beast, and you have a boar in your hand.
Oh, shots fired.
And then you kill command, but you keep the boar in your hand and you kind of forget you could have killed your enemy. Those things happen even as professional players, and that's absolutely okay. And I hope he goes double Ragnaros here because that would be...
Of course, because it's...
Swag win.
It's 10 times cooler.
It's 10 times?
At least.
At least. Well, now he got his Fury Win-X with the last card. He can just end it. But I really hope for double Ragnaros, just end turn. That would be super cool.
Do you see what you get? Do you see what you get when you mess with a warrior?
I mean, it's 5-0 overall for Team eEriness here. So they need this win. And he's going to be like, yes! Joke is okay. But we're just jumping right into the match. And let's see if Zadkiel actually runs a Miracle Rogue.
Nice.
With those cards, I would say, yeah... A miracle. It's a miracle, but is a miracle working or is the Control Warrior winning? I think it's a rather even matchup. It strongly depends on the Miracle Rogue draw, because the Warrior can just armor up, and if you don't get your early game stuff, you will just run into a situation where you have a Warrior with 40 HP and you might have your Leroy Burst, 20 damage, but the Warrior is still on 20 HP if you do it.
He just says, I don't really care, dude.
Yeah, and he will exactly say that in that voice.
In that voice?
Yeah.
We need more voice samples.
We need more voice samples. We should be voice actors for Blizzard.
Should we? I strongly disagree.
Everyone should spam on Blizzard EU, Twitter, Hearthstone, Facebook, whatever, and tell...
Julia and Pony for voice actors, go!
Absolutely.
Nah.
Take TV wants to get super popular. That's the plan.
Well, that would only be the voices, right?
I want to be in a Disney movie, just right away saying
yeah,
it now.
But in one of those great ones where they're singing all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Like Lion King, for example.
Lion King 5.
Like
spoilering
what?
Nunia and Pony.
Spoilering?
Yeah, I want to be...
featuring?
Not spoilering. Spoilering it now because it actually already happened. we did a Lion King voiceover. I should tell that our YouTube guy, he will make a Lion King voiceover video with us.
Should we?
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out somehow.
We could do that when we hit a certain threshold on Facebook. Then we're gonna sing. What are we gonna sing from Lion King? Can you feel the love tonight?
And we should.
That's the most obvious one, right?
We should do a poll before we just drive completely off the game, because something happened here actually. His first Armorsmith got killed by SI7 agent and backstab.
Yep.
But Tanakh doesn't care. He plays his second Armorsmith here. And now, well, Zadkiel has some problems. He could kill it with an Eviscerate, for example, or he could kill it with a backstab, shiv, attack. You want to kill it since that's your enemy's biggest armor thingy. I'm going to call it thingy. He just gets so much armor from that card, and you really want to kill it.
And he is currently hovering over Viscerate, like he's thinking about doing it. Nice.
So he decides to not to, but I think it's absolutely not good to do it. If he Taskmasters it up now, he gets a 3/3 minion, it cannot be backstabbed anymore, and he gains armor. I just ignored the music.
How can you ignore that?
I guess it would be Hakuna Matata.
Yep. No, it isn't.
It isn't, see?
It wasn't Hakuna Matata, was it? Huh?
Focus on the game, sir.
I'm completely focused.
I'm completely focused.
On Lion King.
On Lion King. Yeah, I feel that. So Shiv incoming, 1 more armor for Tanakh. And that's what you need to consider. Everything you do just gives him more and more armor. And he just did a slight misplay here, I would say. He should have killed that armor smith first. And then backstab the other minion. He just gave Tanakh 1 more armor. He shouldn't have given him. That stupid sentence. He didn't need to give him. That's what I absolutely wanted to say. And now he can just play Karin. Big problem with Karin is?
He's super slow and he can get zapped.
Absolutely. Zapped. And if that happens, you're going to be like, Super Rage mode activated.
Super Rage? It's not necessarily a bad thing for a warrior.
Absolutely not. Especially if you have a golden warrior and you're Super Rage all the time.
Exactly.
But the hand of Zadkiel is actually super sad here. He has 5 spells, even a Conceal. So the one card you want to have together with an Auctioneer, but he doesn't have an Auctioneer. And that's the main problem with, well, Merca Rogue. You need your Auctioneers. If you don't get your Auctioneers, you're freaking screwed. And you're running into a really super not cool situation for you. He can play Eviscerate Van Cleef now.
Yep.
It's okay.
He would also get rid of the armor, which is really nice because he knows there's still shield slims coming. And he wants to keep the armor, the armor value low.
I want to see him playing Eviscerate Van Cleef and then Tanakh just dropping his Ragnaros, end turn, Ragnaros kills Van Cleef. That would be super annoying for Zadkiel here because he just lost his Van Cleef and he decides to not do it. I think I would even play a 4/4 Van Cleef maybe, just to get him out.
And it would have been 6/6 because he stepped first. You mean you would have saved the Viscerate and still played the Van Cleef? Or what do you say? Okay. Nah, I don't know.
I don't know why he didn't draw Ragnaros. That would be instant 8 damage, and your enemy definitely runs into trouble somehow, like getting rid of that Ragnaros as a Merca Rogue. You know, like, yeah, I'm not gonna kill him easily. So I'm kind of surprised he didn't play it, because it would have posed such a big threat. And now it's kind of, well, it's not too late, never too late, but still. And there's Shadow Step incoming. Van Cleef, 10/10 and Conceal. That was super well played. But I would still say Ragnaros would be super annoying.
Would you Alexstrasza him now and then attack him with Karin?
If you Alexstrasza him now, attack him with Karin, you can win next turn, definitely. If you don't do it, you die next turn, maybe. Or at least in 2 turns. Like, if you don't do that Alex move, you will most likely die yourself in 2 turns. So he does it as you say, because he has Grimash in his hand, Grimash Slam, that's 10 damage. And your enemy is not able to kill both of those minions. And with that hand, GG for Tanakh.
Well, maybe he misses lethal because that can happen to pros.
Absolutely. Maybe he runs in his Karin and Alexstrasza Van Cleef. Just be like, what?
Like a boss.
Like a boss, because he can do it and still play Grimash. But that game looks pretty much over here for Zadkiel. He has his Van Cleef out. He has a Cold Blood, so he can deal. Let's count that up. 14. He can attack with his weapon. 1. Armor up. Blade Flurry 2. 16. 17 damage possible. But 17 damage? That's not cool.
Well, it's not lethal.
Well, and not cool. Because it's not lethal.
Yeah, if it's not lethal, it's not cool. Heard it here first.
Well, he killed Alex Straza, and he could also just play all his cards. For example, Blade Flurry now.
Doesn't matter.
I guess he wants to like Blade Flurry, Cold Blood his minion up, attack his face, and then he can still Shadow Stab his Van Cleef if he wants to regain some health. Because he played 2 spells, Shadow Stab, and he would get an 8/8 Van Cleef, but at least an 8 HP Van Cleef. Still, he's dead.
He is.
That's just a possible move I'm counting here.
What can you say? He's dead.
Yeah. What do I want to add here? Nothing. He just dies to Grimace again. And that's what I told you. Control Warrior has a really slight advantage, but we have to admit here, Zadkiel had some super bad draw.